Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Topgrafted standards. Now, these are shrubs usually, or evergreens that have been grafted onto a stem or a stalk. Now, most of the time that the stalk is of the same genus as the top, but there are a few where plants are compatible where the bottom is not the same as the top. And remember that the plant you want is only at the top, so therefore, as it grows, you want to wipe out the buds with your hand on the stem all the way down, just when they're so young that the buds can be wiped out by hand, as opposed to when they're branches and the wounds have to actually take time to heal. So it's important you realize that there is a little maintenance with these. And also that if they do sucker from the bottom, it is bad. And I have seen some plants that will actually sucker from the area where the grafting is up at the top and revert to the understock, and which is usually a full-sized, let's say in this case, tree. And so you do have to be careful, and you do have to watch for these reversions and the stalk and the new shoots coming out of the stalk. So be aware of that. There are many of them done and created, but these are small trees that will fit into your landscape. Even if you're in a townhouse, you'll be able to use them as a specimen or a focal point in your garden. So if you're in a small townhouse and you want to go and talk about the garden, and the back corners are going to be tall, but you can't make them too tall, you can't put big trees in there, these just might be suitable for those areas. First one I'd like to talk about is one you will see a lot out there, and that is the burning bush standard. Now, burning bush standard can be about 6 foot, but I have seen them as much as 4 feet across, but generally they're rated at 3. It's the same plant grafted on a stem of Euonymus alatus. So, zone 4, and the spread is about 3 feet, and probably closer to 4, and 6 foot. Now, it can also be controlled by size, too, with a little bit of pruning. You're going to get that green leaves, the brilliant color, and of course the cork wing bark that is typical of the dwarf burning bush. That's one of the nice ones. There's one I have not grown. I have seen a couple, and I think they are going to be extremely popular. It's the weeping ginkgo standard. Now, it's hardy to zone 3, so we're talking tough. Height 7 feet. Spread is 6 feet, so it's a little more because it's going to weep. You're going to end up with, even with control, you're going to end up with a little bit more of a mound or a haystack in shape. But you've got the maidenhair leaves as well. You get the fall color, which is a great yellow, and, of course, a weeping standard. Now, there's a lot of hibiscus standards done. These are great if you're looking for something that flowers in the summertime and, of course, is smaller, colorful, and really quite attractive and will really stand out as a specimen or a focal point in your garden. They're generally hardy to about zone 5. The height and the spread on them is usually about 7 foot by 6 foot. So you can sort of judge your size there, and that is going to work out quite well. But there's a number of different colors here that you can pick from. You're going to get the single pink flowers with the raspberry or red eyes in late summer, usually on a 3 to 5 foot stem, but it depends. There's also Blushing Bride. Now, this one is an excellent one in the fact that it is that light pink, a Blushing Bride. The center, down deep, are going to be burgundy, etc. So it's interesting, but still getting that blushing bride pink into it in late summer. Hibiscus syricus hemabo. Now, hemabo is an interesting one in the fact that it's a single pale pink with a lot of bold red-centered blooms. Now, this means that they just don't have a throat that is raspberry or red. They are actually patches on each petal down near the base which feather out, in other words, streak. And, of course, the yellow stamen center. Very pretty, very, very different, and striking in the landscape. And that is important as well. Another one that's been around quite a while is called Helen, or Helene, and it's going to be more of a white with the raspberry feathering, but the center also has a secondary set of what I'll call them incomplete petals, which surround the yellow stamen. So they're white, they've got the maroon feathering centers. It does bloom late, and it is a standard single. You're getting into some of the doubles. You're going to get into ones like Lucy, and this Rose of Sharon is double. It's a red-pink flowers, late summer, and of course, great flowers over a long period of time, which is important. If you're looking for blue in the standard, the blue satin Rose of Sharon is a good one to look at. Same height, same hardiness, large, single, rich, royal blue flowers that on a very neat, tight, well-formed plant and a good color. So it is an excellent one as well. One of the ones I do like is Red Heart. Red Heart, because I love the strong contrast. Red Heart Rose of Sharon standard, same height, same spread, same hardiness, but those single white flowers have a deep red centers that are feathered out in late summer, and it's really a strong contrast because it is so white against the burgundy in the center. So it's important that you take a look at these. There are many others, and we'll talk to you a little bit about the rest, or at least some more, because I think they're very important to be used in our smaller landscapes, which seems to be the trend today. I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.